Okay, so nothing weird just happened. Welcome once again, friends, to the tavern. Tonight we do have Logan back, thankfully. Welcome back, Logan. It's good to see you once again. He's off and on, but we can finally manage to corral his ass into the tavern and force him. We glued him to the seat so he couldn't leave and do other things. He's forced to hang out with us now.
I mean, I did that, but I didn't feel like I was being that aggressive about it.
Yeah. But yeah, tonight we'll be going through some more Unearthed Arcana, just kind of picking up a little bit of where we left off last time. We're gonna jump around. We're gonna jump back to Sorcerer, and then we'll probably work our way to Invocations. I know last time we left off on Warlock Invocations, but it just makes a little more sense to work through it in order in some way. So let me check everything, make sure we're good, and we can jump in.
I feel like this is the point where we're supposed to talk.
Nope.
No.
No.
All right.
No. That's page 18, right? Yep, 18.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Nox is not being cooperative.
That's okay.
1 second.
That's what dogs do sometimes. I'll say, Logan, have you looked at any of these new class updates?
I looked at Rogue and a little bit into that book, and then after that I was like, all right, back to what I was doing with my lap down.
Got you. We looked at Barbarian and Fighter primarily last time. We got a little bit into Warlock, but we didn't go into Evocations, which is huge. But Barbarian and Fighter, I liked a lot.
Mm-hmm. He was talking about the things you could do with your second wind dice for Fighter, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot. So far, I'm really excited, but we went over very martial classes where it looked like, well, for one, Warlocks, the big thing that I liked is you get 10 evocations by level 17. And some of them have been reworked a bit. So we haven't gone through all of those, but like a lot of the things they're doing for the main classes are cool.
10 evocations, bro? Ooh.
Yeah, we'll retouch on that
at a
too.
level of play we won't ever reasonably get to, but because I'm interested to see what they might be changing here with Warlock. Because that's like a full caster, you know?
Yeah.
That wasn't bad to begin with, you know? So
all right, let's just do it. Jumping in here to Sorcerer. I am curious. I do want to look at the table real quick and just see what things changed. Prepared spells 2. Oh, okay, interesting. It does say spells known. Spells known was in the 2014 edition of the Player's Handbook, but now it says spells prepared. But everything else. Oh, and then in the table it says sorcery points, which is nice that it lines that out. Because before it didn't.
A hell of a lot more
sense.
Yeah, prepared spells is way nicer too, so you're not stuck with your 2 spells as a sorcerer.
Yeah, so I'm curious what that means. So let's say we just jump down here and check this out. So first level, sorcerer class features. First level, innate sorcery. An event in your past left an indelible mark on you, infusing you with a simmering magic. As a bonus action, you can unleash that magic for 1 minute, during which you gain the following benefits. The spell save DC of your sorcerer spells increases by 1. You have advantage on the attack rolls of sorcerer spells you cast. You can use this feature twice, and you regain all expended uses of it when you finish a long rest. Hey, what the fuck?
You get a rage as a sorcerer, which is pretty cool.
Whoa,
that's what I'm getting there. So out the gate, if I'm being honest, it's not bad.
That's actually that's pretty cool. That's pretty sick. I feel like that. Yeah,
the DC by 1 doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a huge help.
Mm-hmm. It is
advantage on the attack rolls of the spells you cast. Like Fireball's only getting a +1 to DC.
Hold on. Like, it says sorcerer spells. It does emphasize. It doesn't say spells. It says sorcerer spells. So there might be distinction though too.
Sure, that's a good point. There might be something specific. Well, okay, I guess it makes sense for like multi-classing have that specific language.
Yeah, and I wonder if they're overhauling. And I do want to look into some of that stuff. I wonder if they're overhauling some stuff in regards to like spells and things, because I'm mainly looking at classes, but I'm sure they're reworking every aspect of D&D, right? So I'm sure that there will be spells at some point that I want to go through and see. So that's really cool. Jumping down though. Oh, guys,
go ahead. Sorry, no, I'm just trying to find the sorcery point levels for the original one. So give me a minute. You guys go ahead and continue.
Changing your prepared spells. Go for it.
I was gonna say spellcasting. Yeah. So what was it? Go ahead, Logan. Yeah, hit me with it.
I was just reading through spellcasting, and it looks like prepared spells is exactly the same as it used to be. It's renamed.
From spells known to spells prepared.
Yep.
Okay. Charisma. You can use arcane focus, of course.
Sorcery points are actually already on the sorcerer list in 5e. It's just put in a different. It's like it's right next to proficiency bonus for no reason whatsoever. So that number actually hasn't changed.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
You're right, but it's at least it's cleaner in the order it's at.
Readability is kind of essential because all of us kind of thought it wasn't even there. So,
yeah. Right. So font and magic, yes. Just real quick, I'm curious. I do want to compare these because I think that's kind of helps. So yeah, there was nothing like that at all. It just had spellcasting at first level. So now first level you have that cool, just kind of ability where you can just make your shit dope. Okay, font and magic. You can tap into the wellspring of magic within yourself. This wellspring is represented by sorcery points, which allows you to create a variety of magical effects. You have 2 sorcery points and you gain more as you reach higher levels. Sounds just like sorcery. You can never have more. You can use your sorcery points to fuel. Converting spell slots to sorcery points. You expend, creating a spell slot. As a bonus action, you can transform unexpended sorcery points into 1 spell slot. This seems pretty much the same. Is there any difference in table, though?
The only thing is the min sorcerer level now exists. There was never a minimum sorcery level on the list. Yeah. And honestly, as I'm reading, just to make sure, it doesn't have a minimum sorcery level. So that makes sense as people might, use and abuse certain things for like multi-class. But even that, it's not that big a thing, I don't feel.
It stops you from doing coffee lock.
Well, yeah, but also exhaustion keeps you from doing coffee lock for being.
Yeah. I don't even know what the fuck the words you're saying mean. What is that? What is that?
You want to break it down for him?
Give me Warlocks get their spells back on a short rest. You can use your sorcery. You can use a bunch of your sorcerer spells. You can then proceed to burn your Warlock spells and to sorcery points, and then back into sorcerer spells. You can then take a short rest, and then you are now up your sorcery spells that you would not have gotten back on a short rest, and you have your Warlock spell slots back.
It is, I will say, shaky ruling as to whether that is rules as written. It isn't strictly not. However, the coffee lock thing kind of comes in if people decide, like, I'm not going to take a long rest, I'm going to take 8 short rests, and like try to do things like, because when you sleep you burn it all, instead of having like an absolutely colossal amount of spell slots.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, you can extend your spell slots for so long off of that if you're just like burning, using, especially because Warlock spell slots are at a higher level, so they'll give you more sorcery points back.
Gotcha.
Ergo, coffee lock is, I would say, nerfed by this. I wouldn't say broken. But yeah, I mean, for one, I wouldn't allow it at my table as that. But that the principle of it's gone.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, that seems.
You burn through.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you burn through enough short rest, you're exhausted, bro. The day is already over. I'm not letting you just keep going over and over and over and over again.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I IRL take more short rest than long rest when I'm trying to sleep. So,
and then there's that, I guess.
But arguably, I'm taking points of exhaustion. So, go ahead.
Level 2 meta magic. Because your magic flows from within you, you can alter your spells to suit your needs. You gain 2 meta magic options of your choice from the meta magic options section later in this class description. You gain 2 more when you become 10th level, and 2 more when you become a 17th level. You can lose only 1 meta magic option on a spell when you cast it, unless otherwise noted in one of those options. Whenever you gain okay, this is the same thing. I'm curious, though, on whether you get more or less. Looks the exact same. Sorcerer didn't need a lot of tuning, to be honest. I feel like Sorcerer had some pretty...
They already get to rage as a Sorcerer type thing.
Well, that's
already huge.
I'm talking about pre-existing mechanics worked pretty well, I'd say. I do like that they are just shifting a couple things from minimum Sorcerer level, but I'd say in general this isn't yeah, there's not too much. However, we will go through the different meta magics, and they might have changed those, so we'll see. Yep, sorcerer subclass, cool. Ability score improvement. Sorceress Restoration. When you roll initiative or finish a short rest and have no sorcery points remaining, you regain a number of those points equal to your sorcerer level divided by 5. What?
That's what I was like. I was looking down. I was doing. When you roll initiative, or
finish a long rest and have no sorcery points remaining, you regain a number of those points equal to your sorcerer level divided by 5.
So at level 5 you get 1, and then you gotta wait a long goddamn time to get 2.
That's weird. That's so weird.
It's not really much of anything.
Yeah, that's so strange. That's a very weird thing.
If it was like divided
Don't worry,
by 5,
you round down.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, you get it at level 5, so at least it's not wasted when you get it, but it's still nothing.
I mean, to be fair though, I mean, that's the thing though. Is it something, right? You get 1. Like, yeah, okay, you're not gonna get a bunch, but like at the very least, when you start a combat, you get 1. You know, like it's better. It's still more than nothing. You know.
Well, to be fair, sorcery points are not just making spell slots. When we get to the meta magic options, which are coming up soon, I'm just reading ahead. Most of them cost 1 sorcery point, so maybe it's just the ability, like you don't have anything, but you're able to, as I'm reading across, distance spell or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Sorcery Incarnate. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna talk shit. You're good.
Dude, talk shit. Talk shit. What's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say, it's still not good. Like, I still think, rounding down is quite a lot, especially since when you're at level 20, you get 4. Yeah,
right.
It's not
Right.
It's good. Sorcery Incarnate.
Well, hold on. I'm curious though, just like to compare it. I'm going back up. Go back down. So how many? So sorcerer points? Yeah. At level 20, you're getting 20 sorcerer points, and then you're just regaining like 4 on initiative. It's like,
right.
That's actually crazy though. 20 sorcery points? That's I never actually thought about it. That's you just slinging, dude. Slinging meat, slinging spells.
You absolutely better be.
I mean, at 20 level for sure.
Sorry, I'm reading ahead, man. I'm reading ahead.
Stop reading ahead.
We all read what we read. Okay, let's do sword. I'm gonna read Sorcery Incarnate just to get it out of the way.
Good.
When your innate sorcery feature is active, you can use up to 2 of your meta magic options on each spell you cast. In addition, if you have no uses left of innate sorcery left, you can use it if you spend 2 sorcery points when you take a bonus action to activate it. So at level 7, if you can't rage and you have sorcery points left, you can burn some to rage. And if you combo that with you gaining 1 of them, then it only really costs 1 when you short rest or initiative.
And then also on top of that too, it's also saying you can double down on meta magic, so you can just fucking light up your spells and just go insane.
You can, but I do like that the sorcery points here is like, oh, here's more way to spend. Here's more ways to spend them. Here's not more ways to get more.
Right.
You know,
And that
until you get to level 20 where you don't need to spend them again.
Yeah, and that's what I'm really enjoying about this, because I was really just looking at the 2014 Player's Handbook.
2014?
And well, like you look at it, and like you literally as a sorcerer for your class, you get font of magic, so using your sorcery points, and then you get meta magic. That's it. That's literally it.
You get nothing to do. Sorcerers were like, they had no options for things to do other than being like, here's meta magic and a bunch of it, which is pretty cool.
Here's meta magic in a subclass.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. That's why I'm like, I think this is cool. I think like we saw some of the other classes, fighter, barbarian, like they're really trying to just give more, sprinkling in more things. And so like almost every level you get in your class, you're getting something. And yes, it's like we saw Sorcerer's Restoration. Here's 1 sorcery point, but like you still get it. Like it's still free. It's literally something you can now have at 5th level in your class that at least like makes you feel like you're progressing. And I'm really enjoying this like kind of almost delve a little bit harder into sorcerer being just like this like untapped well of energy. You know, like wizards, learned, warlock, pax, sorcerer, they're just like, bro, you just got it, and you gotta use it.
You gotta use it.
Yeah,
I got a sorcery point for every fingernail I have. You know, just like beep beep beep. Like this, it just happens. I don't know.
Yeah,
can't explain it. I do love the jump from level 7
To 20.
like, yeah, subclasses are gonna cover all this stuff in the middle, and then level 20.
Yeah, read level 20 for a slogan.
Please.
Level 20, Arcane Apotheosis. While using your innate, dear lord, I can't read. While using your innate sorcery feature is active, you can use one meta magic option on each of your turns without spending sorcery points on it. Which means, if that thing is active, you get one for free, and then you can spend another one to use two, because you can still use two per turn because of Sorcerer Incarnate.
And I would let it be dealer's choice, because some of them cost 2. And I think at level 20, if you want to use Heightened Spell, and then you also want to spend it on like, better use Careful Spell, I'm only going to make it cost 1, because the more expensive one should be the free one. In my mind, I think that's DM's discretion, and maybe they could be specific on on it. But in my mind, you're level 20, and you're just spending
one
cash.
Meta magic option, man. It's one meta magic option is solid for me, dude. Like, if you want to use it for something that costs 2, use it for something that costs 2. Because you're level 20. I'd rather you just you're gonna be slinging anyways, bro. You're gonna be dropping meteors from the sky.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
Meteors from the sky with Seeking Spell, and then you're gonna try to argue with your DM that Subtle Spell makes sense too.
Yeah, bro. Hey, I call it the cataclysmic event, but subtly, quietly.
Yeah.
Real quick though, I will also say for our home game, so innate sorcery is 1 minute, and so a little bit of a counterbalance to this too. I feel like for our home game, what's up, Nox? Is the fact that we're gonna change rounds from 6 seconds to 10 seconds. So so just as a little bit of a note, so instead of having it for 10 rounds, which is basically all of combat forever, it will be only 6 rounds. And so if you were to get to that point, it wouldn't be as powerful necessarily.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
To get that back, I do wish though, because barbarians get more rages as you go up. And this is very similar, and you only ever get 2.
Exactly.
It is nice that you have sorcery points you can spend on that, but
I do want to point out, I just had to go up and check. There is no condition in which it goes away in the minute.
Right, it's not concentration.
Nothing about that.
Yeah, it's not concentration.
Well, it's not concentration. If it doesn't even say, it doesn't say. Doesn't mean it's not true, but it doesn't say it gets dropped when you get downed. It
is playtest material, but yeah, I would agree. That's a good note because that's something. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, they might have they either left it out or they might have forgot to do that.
If you get dropped and then you stand back up and you're within the minute, I might argue that you still have innate sorcery going, because it might be something your body is doing that you don't necessarily have to be present for. It's it's a function that's happening.
Right. I think I don't see why not. I feel like sometimes it does make sense, especially for what they're kind of making sorcerer a little. They're emphasizing what sorcerer is a little bit more, so it's pretty cool. I'm
saying, if the game's broken, break it more. Just lean into it, find out where those boundaries are, and push up against them.
Are you reading ahead, Logan?
Happening.
What? No, I'm just I'm just considering options that you could do with multiple sorcery points or multiple meta magics in one turn.
Yes, and I think we should get into the meta magics here.
Let's do it.
They are
pretty
good. Well, meta magics, and I will say, glancing through the list, I'm not seeing anything that I'm unfamiliar with, but also I haven't played Sorcerer in a while. But available to your meta magic features, the options are presented in alphabetical order. They have design notes for things that have changed through playtest. But Careful Spell, which is really good, which is kind of just Evocation Wizard, essentially get this at a certain level, if I'm not mistaken. Well, now a sorcerer can spend a point to get it, which is
read that shit verbatim.
I am,
sir.
Yeah. When you cast, I was going to see if there's a way to skim it, but there's no point. When you cast a spell that forces other creatures to make a saving throw, you can protect some of those creatures from the spell's full force. To do so, spend 1 sorcery point and choose a number of creatures up to your charisma modifier, which better be high.
Yeah.
It's your spell casting ability anyway. A chosen creature automatically succeeds the saving throw against the spell and takes no damage if it would normally take half damage.
Okay.
So pretty much just you're casting fireball and you're like, shit, my boy's there, and then you just choose instead to keep your boy alive. For instance, throwing a fireball and Morella's in the mix. If I was a sorcerer, he might have been a little bit less singed.
It is what it is.
And it ended up being okay. I
extend spell, is that in the
extend spell?
Yeah, is that in the 2014 one or?
Wait,
don't believe
are you
this.
reading ahead, my boy?
How dare you
This
read?
man's on the next page, bro.
Extend
Bro.
spell, yes. Extend spells here. The only other one I wanted to double check is the one that which we'll get to. I will say, reading the list. So we're gonna get to it, but seeking spell I have not seen yet. Yeah.
Seeking spell isn't there.
But I'll go ahead and read distant spell, which makes the most sense. I don't even think it's changed. When you have a cast spell that has a range of at least 5 feet, so pretty much not touch. You can spend 1 sorcery point to double the spell's range. When you cast a spell that has a range of touch, you can spend 1 sorcery point to make the range 30 feet, which is really good. I have heard of people using this to make like shocking grasp at range and casting it through familiars, things like that. Just like just ways to like use a touch spell, which sorcerers inherently don't want to fucking use in combat.
Yeah,
and being able to use them.
Well, that's actually pretty cool too, because there's some pretty strong cantrips too that are touch, which you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And what's also cool about this as well is that you could even do things that don't have to do damage. If you wanted to like touch, if it's a touch spell and that you needed to get up and give a homie a high five, you could do it from 30 feet. So
or healing, like there's no reason sorcerers wouldn't have healing abilities. You know, like maybe like you really needed to get like healing off, and like but it was a touch spell. They're at range. There's anything in the way.
I don't
mainly a guy with a sword.
I don't even. I don't think they have
domain sorcerers.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't think they inherently have it.
A player used Cure Wounds from 30 feet away because Cure Wounds is touch, and yeah, they were like, "Oh, I'm just gonna use Distance Spell, and I will extend that range to be able to hit someone with that."
Okay.
I would say empowered spell does not look any different.
When you roll damage,
you roll any one of us. No knows. There's a lag, but technically.
When you roll damage for a when you roll damage for a spell, you can spend 1 sorcery point to reroll a number of the damage dice up to your charisma modifier, and you must use the new rolls. You can use a powered spell even if you have already used a different meta magic option during the casting of the spell. So you can do this one twice.
Yep.
Or sorry, you can double down. You can double down for that one.
Yes, that is the same language as it has in the book.
It
says empowered spell can be used even if you use a different one. I do want to point out that means you can at a certain level, and by that certain level I mean level 7, use 3 meta magics.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
Well,
out there.
I also, it's interesting because I don't know if I've ever truly noticed this, because a lot of times it'll be like you can re-roll dice like as a collective. This one says you to re-roll a number of the damage dice. Like if you get like a bunch of 8s and you're like, I'm gonna re-roll these 3 1s. You know, that's pretty cool. That like it's not like you don't burn it to necessarily make it worse. It only can make it better, which is cool.
I also like that it says up to. You could have rolled really well for 6 out of 8 die, and you have a charisma of 4. You don't have to roll 4. Re-roll the 2 you didn't like.
Exactly.
Like it's like things with dice are normally like advantage, disadvantage. This is one of the few things where it's like totally at the player's discretion.
Yes.
You have to live with it, but
Sorcery Incarnate says you can use up to 2.
Oh, okay, cool. So this
it has a cap of 2.
So yeah, you couldn't.
Even if you can use it.
I like that the verbiage covers that, because I think because people would be like, oh, but what? It's like no, up to 2, bro. Like don't. Yeah, so that's good catch. Good catch. I like that. Extended spell. When you cast a spell that has a duration of 1 minute or longer, you can spend 1 sorcery point to double its duration to a maximum duration of 24 hours. The effective spell requires concentration. You have advantage on any saving throws you make to maintain that concentration. I think that is the
second. Nope, the concentration's new.
Oh, cool. Actually, yeah.
Which I only just realized. Yeah, the concentration's new, and I really like that.
I do too.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah, go ahead.
That's real nice. Well, because I was looking at it. Twin spell, obviously, another meta magic a little bit down the line. That's super good. You can twin spell haste with the new extended spell to make it 2 minutes long, and you have advantage on keeping that up on people.
Yes, absolutely. Because especially if you're in the mix at all as a sorcerer, and then also, why not go ahead and make it extended? Just go ahead and make it a distant spell and not have to touch them, and just cast it from safety, and then also have this buff.
I would say this as a DM, I would be like, that's crazy cool. But I will say, if you give someone haste for twice as long. They suffer in twice as many of the effects because you do become lethargic after haste anyway. So if you're churning and burning for another minute of that, I would be like, there's some actual repercussions for that.
The thing is, though, is it makes them a better.
I think if you cast it on a commenter, I'd make it kill him. I think they just drop dead at the end of it.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's funny.
Yeah, I think it helps sorcerers be better for like support class too. Like they have more things that they can do, or they're holding concentration on something, and they can do that for longer now.
Well, I think I like that it kind of blends it back into it because the whole point of you're burning a sorcery point to double the duration, and that's really good for concentration. But the fact if you get smoked immediately, it's like I burned. Not only did I burn the spell and lost concentration, I just burned a sorcery point on that shit too, and now it's irrelevant. So I'll just fuck off, I suppose. So I like that. I do like that. It's kind of a buff there. All right, heightened spell, Logan.
Heightened spell. When you cast a spell that forces a creature to make a saving throw to resist its effect, you can spend 2 sorcery points to give one target of the spell disadvantage on its saving throws.
Interesting. Oh wow, heightened spell was 3 in the 2014 edition.
Yes. Yeah, they bumped that down, which is good because that. I mean, while that is good, you're still only choosing one target.
Yeah, exactly.
That lowers in. So if you're like, I don't care how small the room is, I'm gonna cast Fireball, bro. You only get one person that you're like, okay, well, they now have a little bit worse than the save.
Speaking of Fireball, I'm gonna do something in the chat real quick.
Are you gonna write Fireball?
Maybe.
We are on to Quicken Spell, which I do want to actually get into because it's quite different. And I don't understand it, and I do need help. But reading it from this list here, and this first part is unmodified. When you cast a spell that has a sorcery time of an action, you spend 2 sorcery points to change the casting time to a bonus action for this casting. What's added on this edition, it's now very specific. You can't modify spell in this way if you've already cast a spell of level 1 or higher on the current turn, nor can you cast a spell of level 1 or higher on this turn after modifying the spell in this way. Now it makes sense as I read it out loud. But essentially, it's just like you can cantrip after this, but you can't double down on spells.
So first of all, Nathan said giving hyper concentrated crack to the local farmer's gone wrong for doubling your haste. They work real well for 2 minutes and then they get their brain their heart explodes. So I will say I'm a little bit I don't like that necessarily. I think that it should I like the limit. I do like the limit. I think that maybe even bringing it up to 2nd level would make it a little bit more appealing. I think that it being only 1 level, like 1st level, to do this
can't even be level 1.
Well, hold on. So
it essentially has to be a cantrip.
You can't modify a spell. So on this turn, okay, hold on. You can't modify a spell in this way if you've already cast a spell for level 1 or higher on the current turn. Nor can you cast a spell of 1st or level 1 or higher on this turn after modifying a spell in this way.
You can only cast a cantrip in the same turn that you bonus action.
Or make an attack of some kind if you have a...
Yeah.
So you can quicken, so you cast a 3rd level spell and then you can use a quicken spell.
No.
And it's a cantrip.
It's saying that you can, so if you have, like, say you want to do Fireball, but you also, like, need to do an action, like, you really need to, like, do whatever requires an action. But the action's more important to you, but you want to you quicken spell to do it. What you cannot do is Fireball and then a Magic Missile.
Right, you have to Fireball cantrip.
Yes,
or you cantrip Fireball.
Yeah, or maybe you're running over, you're doing, like, an athletics check to open a door or some shit that's, like, people are pressing on, but you're just letting off a spell of something with your quicken spell to use an action to do something.
I think that literally... In my opinion, if they're gonna verb it like that, I would just be like, "You can cast a cantrip." That's what I would say, like, because they have like 5 sentences of like, "Hey, if you do this 1st level or lower, oh, but if you do this 1st level," it's like, how about if you do this cantrip as your 2nd spell?
I think all they're saying is, which makes sense because maybe quickening spell. I know I've seen people be confused on online. I think all they're trying to do is shore that up. I think all they're trying to say is you could do an action that actually can't be a spell. You use your bonus action, you now have an action, but that action cannot be a spell. And I think they're just for whatever reason, not saying that instead of saying it can't be level 1 or higher. So
right.
it can't be a spell.
I think the verbiage could be a little bit better. I understand now, but my brain had a stroke trying to figure that out.
I had a stroke too until I read it out loud, and then it made sense. Yeah.
But even then, it can be a little bit confusing. I do like that though. I do like the limitation. I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool. I mean, it's 2 sorcery points. Maybe you play with the cost some. But I think maybe homebrewing this, just me personally homebrewing it to maybe cost 3 or something, and then making it a first level spell. Because I mean, I understand 100% that you can't be like 2 fireballs in a turn, bitch. It's like, okay, hold on, everyone calm down, please, God, everyone calm down. Yeah, because
I'm gonna use my action to read a scroll, and then
dude, literally quicken spell, had no cap. It was just like, have fun, do it.
I just said it, and it's like, fuck off, have fun.
That's crazy. All right, seeking spell. Oh, go ahead. Let's hear something else.
This one is new. Totally new.
Yes, go ahead, Connor.
Oh, shit. If you make an attack roll for a spell and miss, you can spend 1 sorcery point to reroll a d20, and you must take the new roll. You can use Seeking Spell even if you have already used a different meta magic option during the casting of the spell.
Cool.
That's good. It is, I will say, attack roll spells.
Yes.
So it's not making that if they pass their DC, you don't get a Seeking Spell. But I like it.
I like that too.
I like the idea of trying to Psychic Lance someone, you rolling a fucking 5, then being like, Seeking Spell, and then just going again.
Well, and this is why in some ways I really prefer Sorcerer to Wizard, is because, especially with this stuff in meta magic, you just can do so much with your spells, and it makes your spells a lot more viable. And I feel like for this, you waste a freaking 5th level spell or some shit on a Psychic Lance, you roll a 3. So that sucks. But this, you're just like, okay, let me use another resource that I have to give myself another chance.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I also, because there's a reason that, for one, you have a very limited amount of sorcery points, and then you start running with it. I think that's why, as we're reading this, because, again, most of these cost 1.
Yeah.
Seeking Spell costs 1 sorcery point. If you start an initiative, as we're just going through, do a short rest, and you get that ability we all agreed was bullshit, where you only get 1 sorcery point. Well, for that 1 sorcery point, you might Seeking Spell your level 5 spell into the boss's fucking brain hole.
Exactly.
You know, it could make or break a whole encounter, that 1 sorcery point. It doesn't have to, but it can.
Exactly. And it's free. That's just a new ability too. So it's like,
and it's free 99. If you're taking a short rest with 1 sorcery point left, use it on your local gnome, and then get a free one just in the bank. Just so you get a free one.
You can have 2, but the same one's
that
1.
Atrocity was free.
You have to have 0 to get that one back. So
exactly.
You have to have 0.
So if you
just use it, just burn a
cantrip,
just like, I don't know, like maybe Shocking Grasp and heighten it, and then then you're good. Nothing happens.
The gnome hate stops here. Wait, the gnome hate stops here.
It definitely starts.
It started and now it's stopping. Hey,
was...
my gnomes, bro. Hey, for all my gnome homies out there, bro. I'm sorry for my friends' assholes.
I'm sorry for my asshole too.
Transmuted spell. When you cast a spell,
we didn't do subtle spell, but I will say subtle spell.
What the hell, subtle spell? When you cast a spell, you can spend 1 sorcery point to cast without any verbal, somatic, or material components, except material components that are consumed by the spell or that have a cost specified in the spell. Interesting. That's pretty much
the only thing that changes material components is added on in this edition,
right?
And then it specifies material components cost money, have to go.
Hold on. So
that's the only thing.
Okay, so it does specify any. I was curious. So literally, it's free unless it costs money. Without any.
I do like the material components thing, because, and that only goes to jailbreak type thing. Like if you were casting components pouch, it's like, well, you don't need the friggin' like rhododendron in lamb's blood if you subtle spell.
Yeah, which can be
I don't know what spell that'd be, but it's probably bad and involve blood.
The only thing I guess if your arcane focus is gone, because let's say arcane focus takes away all material components, but if you get that stolen or broken or destroyed, then this is kind of a cool way. And that'd be kind of a cool way too, just for like a role playing thing. Like you have to use subtle spell. Like you have 10 sorcery points, but literally to even cast any of your spells that require obviously material components, then you have to use this. That's pretty cool.
Well, it's like one of those things where it's like monks are impervious to getting their things stolen. You know, monks punch you. This is the way there's like a sorcerer. Like if a sorcerer and a wizard get thrown in a jail, the sorcerer is going to be better at the jailbreak because he could subtle spell cast knock.
Yeah.
You know, and then the wizard's like, "Thank you. Please get me my book.
Give me my secret texts." Transmuted spell is also new.
That is not. Transmuted spell is a Tasha's Cauldron spell. I know because I have hit someone in the face with an acid ball before.
Awesome. In that case, I will say, seeking spells I will be specified is not in the player's handbook, might be in a new book.
Oh, true.
Transmuted spell, when you cast a spell that deals a type of damage from the following list, you can spend 1 sorcery point to change that damage type to one of the others on the list. Acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, and thunder.
That's so
I am
cool.
familiar with
Super useful.
That's super cool. That's like...
Yeah, because like...
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Some of your more powerful spells end up being like very specific elemental spells, and if you run into things like demon, like fire does nothing against them. Any type of dragons where you need to swap a spell that you like to use, this spell is super useful to have, and be like, hey, I'm gonna like, oh man, this is a white dragon. I'm not gonna use Cone of Cold on this thing. Instead, I will use Cone of Lightning.
I also like the
Cone
idea
of
of like role-playing wise is like, I'm really good at fireball. It's like, here's a room of fireproof demons. I'm a fireball them with fucking thunder. And then it's like, I refuse to adapt. just like,
really?
Obviously there are some spells that are better. Like they, unless you're right, the element is resistant or something.
Yeah, and so like I mean, just same with like Melf's Acid Arrow. It's a pretty good spell, but a decent amount of things are resistant to poison damage, and so you could just change that effect so it's actually able to hit something a bit harder.
No, that's why I really like.
Oh
I mean,
my god.
Y'all need to stop reading ahead. That's why.
I wasn't trying to, but I read something and thought it was so crazy, and it's not at all.
Okay.
So thank God.
But that's why I really like Chromatic Orb. And Chromatic Orb is a really good first level spell because you just this obviously burns a resource to do that, but Chromatic Orb is just like change. You know, you can choose what you want, and I love that. I love that alteration that you can make. So this is really cool, and I agree 100%. Logan.
Shout out to Breath getting the fucking kill with it too.
Let's go, baby. But no, it's true. Like, literally, you're like, oh, dude, so we're fighting a shambling mountain, and all I have is lightning spells, and I can just heal it? That sucks. Now it's like, okay, hold on, let's...
What's the wizard doing in this combat? Oh, he's running. That's it's actually best for everybody if he just fucking leaves.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah. Cool. Twin spell.
Yeah.
When you cast a spell, actually... Oh, yeah, you said this in the book. Is that different, or is that the exact same verbiage,
It is very different verbiage.
No, not twin spell.
Book open.
Not twin spell. Transmuted
spell.
It's
the same exact verbiage.
Same thing for Tasha's. Go ahead, Connor.
Okay, so
read this one.
Let me read it, then let me explain why I thought this was crazy.
Okay.
When you cast a spell such as Charm Person or Hold Person, which it doesn't specify in the book, but we'll get there, it can be cast at a higher level spell slot to target an additional creature. You can spend 1 sorcery point to increase the spell's effective level by 1. So upon first reading that, I just my brain broke a little bit, and I'm just like, what do you mean you can spend 1 sorcery point to make a spell a whole level better? And then I realized, it's very specific.
Okay.
Things that can target something, and then you could a higher level makes it branch. So it's a very specific type of spell. It's still really good, but my brain broke a little bit where I'm just like, a sorcery point's far less expensive than a higher spell slot, which it still is. It just isn't broad. The language in the book is very different. However, it ends up meaning the same thing.
When you cast, I'm reading 2014. When you cast a spell that targets only one creature and doesn't have a range of self, you can spend a number of sorcery points equal to the spell's level to target a second creature in range with the same spell.
It's just so much more expensive.
Oh yeah, it's like okay, I see.
It's crazy expensive, yeah. And then it has the eligibility thing as well, which I think is far more clear in the twinned spell.
Oh, interesting. So when you cast a spell such as Charm Person or Hold Person, so this doesn't work. This doesn't work for an attack spell necessarily.
Oh, it says All it says is when you cast a spell such as those two, that can be cast at a higher level spell slot to target an additional creature.
Right, because but if you were to cast Firebolt, it does not specify you can cast at a higher level to cast 2 Firebolts, so that would actually limit that from Twin Spell, wouldn't it?
I think that might be something that hopefully it gets clarified. In my mind, it would still work, but you are right. In the book, it does say specifically Ray of Frost or it does say Magic Missile, Scorching Ray aren't eligible, but Ray of Frost or Chromatic Orb says that in this book here. It doesn't say anything like that here.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be only single target spells can be twins. Right. So you can't twin anything like Lightning Bolts.
Or Eldritch Blast if somehow you take the...
Eldritch Blast, yeah.
Yeah, because you could just take it, I'm going to twin this spell and then hit you again type thing.
Right.
Which I think that type of meta magic isn't bad, but it isn't twin spell. Like if there was a spell like that where you could upgrade the power and just like double down on targeting one thing or something like that, if there's a way to, which I guess they honestly, I'm saying that and they fucking have it. It's just empowered spell. It just doesn't have to be Fireball. Well, it's damage spell, so yeah, it's a single target. Anyway, yeah, I'm like, oh, I wish Quicken Spell did exactly what empowered spell did, or Twin Spell. So yeah, that makes sense, and it's also in a better way than like, oh, you just cast it at a higher level. Yeah, you got to reroll damage on that one. That's a lot better. I
think Twin Spell would be kind of cool. There's a variant for Twin Spell. It's like 5 sorcery points, and then you can do that. Where like anything that is like a ranged spell attack, you can double it. Because I think it's really cool just from a flavor standpoint of like you're casting like, oh, I don't fucking know what, whatever it is, and you double it. Or you can like you split it. Or it'd be kind of cool is if it was Twin Spell or maybe a different verbiage for it, but it like split the damage. So like say you did, I don't fucking know, man. What's a spell that targets?
Witch Bolt.
Yeah, Witch Bolt, right? Or Chromatic Orb or something like that, right? It's like you can split the spell, make 2 different attacks, and one can do 2d8, one can do 1d8, and you can like decide. That'd be kind of cool if it like siphoned the energy and split it.
Nice.
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty sick. Like splitting spell or some shit. Hey, Wizards, hire me.
That's a homebrew rule I have. It splits the damage. If it's a D8, it splits it down to 2d4, and you can hit 2 people. If it's a D12, we'll just split it down to a D6, and that's how I had it built out.
Oh, that's cool. Wait, hold on. Is this a sorcery thing? Or in general?
It's a homebrew rule for a class I made.
Oh, I see. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Sorcerer subclass. We'll maybe get to that one day, but not tonight. I think that's it for sorcery. When it comes to
that is definitely it for sorcery.
Cool. Sorcery or sorcerer? Final thoughts, boys.
Yes.
Shut up.
No, it's really good. Again, as I was saying, I really liked everything they did with the martial classes and thought they were really good at branching out their main thing. I was surprised to see sorcerer did it in a very similar way, which is just like a sorcerer wasn't becoming very good at one random ass thing. It's like it's being good at being a sorcerer.
Yeah.
Being able to rage magically as a sorcerer, essentially, and I'm just calling it that because that's the mechanic, is really cool. Yes. It's not a huge thing, but it's really cool and it grows as you level.
Exactly, and I think what balances that is it grows, but it stays at 2 uses. It does not go, hey, you have 10 uses of this, just do whatever you want.
On a long rest, too. Yeah.
What do you think, Logan?
I like all the additions. The rage is a really nice addition to it. I'm trying to figure out the economy of the sorcerer's rage versus like a barbarian rage, of whether or not it's just like this is cool and you get it for 2 times and you can use spell slots to get it back, but I'm trying to figure out like
barbarian is a shit ton of
I was gonna say barbarian gets like I think like 8 or something, but like as it ramps, like it's like 2 and then like 3 and
and then they rage for like 10 minutes and then
some of the unearthed when we're done and you're obviously a very busy man, but if you have a chance to go look at barbarian, bro, cool Dude, changes.
It is ridiculous.
I like it.
They can rage to be better at crawling.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if you bumped it up to maybe like at later levels, like at 9, 11, 13, and 15, you literally don't get anything. Maybe giving a 3rd use. You don't have to push it past that, but I think you're either crunching down spell slots in order to get enough sorcery points back to use innate sorcery again, But I do really like it as a feature. I just think with other classes that have something very similar and a lot more uses of it, it does feel a little tough to be like, okay, well, I only get my spells back on a long rest. I only get my
Right.
sorcery points back on a long rest. Now let me burn all of my stuff, because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure barbarians get rages back on a short rest.
I don't think they do. Pretty sure
No,
it's
they
not.
don't, but they do have an insane amount of them, and it lasts a lot longer.
Yeah.
I think either combo it with proficiency bonus, or have a way to use your sorcery points to burn to make another use of arcane.
You can.
You can use 2 of them to do that.
Remember at
To
level
do-
5? At level 5, you can spend 2 sorcery points to give you another use of your Sorcerer Incarnate or whatever.
Okay,
Level 7.
Oh, it was a level
that's
7?
what it was. Okay, got you.
Oh, level
In
5 was
case,
that dumb thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That
level
makes sense.
7.
I like the idea of there's a lot of things to consume your sorcery points, and you get a lot more of them. There's not a lot of ways to make your sorcery points better. So like, there's a whole economy of things you can run through, and people who have played any Paradox game ever know like the crack you can get into trying to theory craft the best way to make those work. I like that.
Yeah,
It's
I think
2.
it's-
It isn't a ton.
Yeah, I think it's a good addition. I think giving them one more later on in levels, once
Yeah.
you're like pretty high level into it, would be good. Like you don't need to go past that, but one more where you're not having to burn them, because if you're in long drawn out encounters as a spellcaster, there's been times where like I have not been able to long rest for a long time, and I have been holding
I
like
bet.
I literally held a single like use of a spell for probably 5 sessions.
Here to help.
I think I agree. I think that if you're gonna get 3 though, it should be like much later. Like I would say 10 plus, maybe 9 if you wanted to.
Oh yeah.
But I think you should get 3. I think that there's enough agency and you have enough resources that you get back to where you can like continue to use it. That I think it is good to limit it. Because I mean, yes, a barbarian, yeah, he rages and he gets advantage on some stuff. But like as a sorcerer, you get advantage on all your spells and your DC goes up by 1, which can make or break a lot of things. That with your meta magics can be very crazy.
And let's not forget, you're gonna throw feats in there, and perhaps you can get things like Warcast or things like that. Different things would like make it so. Really, in that case, concentration. But you can get a lot of things to just stack it for your sorcerer.
Yeah, but
I feel like you can lean into this raging thing for like every combat, essentially.
Right.
You could.
Yeah. So, but I really enjoy that. I really enjoy that they're sprinkling in some more things. I will say though, with sorcerer, obviously they have spells, so it's a little bit different. But they didn't have a lot of RP based abilities. Like I know second wind for fighter, they were kind of adding a little bit more RP like abilities. For barbarian, you can rage and do different stats and things and change that up. For that one, it seemed kind of. Well, I wouldn't say all of it was combat oriented because your meta magics, obviously, you can do it and you can use spells and there's a lot of stuff with that. But it did seem like everything was kind of just grounded in combat. So,
Well, that makes sense to me only because sorcerers, almost as much as Warlock, really diversify from their subclass.
that's also
Because
true.
that's their whole origin.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
Because literally
Yeah.
they have a couple of class abilities that are built into the class, and then they're like subclasses, everything else. So I guess
Yeah.
you are right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which I think is kind of why Barbarian and Fighter really shone through with theirs. We didn't get into the subclasses of anything there, but because like theirs is like, oh, they're good at like these very specific things, and we're gonna make them shine. Whereas like a spellcaster, I think it's like, I mean, shit, their spells are good, and then they have a subclass, you know? Like,
That's true. Yeah, I agree.
But we also have Wizard coming up here, and I'm curious to see if maybe
Which-
it diversifies a little bit.
Let's see, brother. Let's see, brethren. Let's jump into
Oh, did
Wizard.
I segue? Oh,
Get on the
I'm gonna
fucking
take 5.
segue.
I nailed it. Yeah.
Segue, baby. All right.
Scooted.
All right, Arcane Recovery. You've learned to regain some of your magical energy by studying your spell. When you finish a short rest, you can choose expended spell slots to recover. Spell slots can have a combined level that is equal to or less than half your wizard level, rounded up, and none of the slots can be level 6 or higher. So is that the same? Let's see.
I want to say one thing before we keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Prepared spells is a whole category that doesn't exist in the 5e book.
What do you mean?
5e book and for the wizard has no prepared spells on any list. It has the same, looks like generally the same exact spell.
Oh, I
slots
see,
per
I
level,
see it. Yeah,
but
yeah.
prepared spells is new.
Yeah, and I like that
Well-
they just slam that there, so you don't have to like. I like how they're making the tables.
There's no math.
Yeah,
shit you have to do based off your intelligence. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, okay, we'll do the math for you.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, I think it could be different for a wizard depending on like your intelligence modifier, but generally it should be the same.
Well,
So I think they just kind of made it make sense in a different way here. It's like, oh, here is what it is. You're a wizard.
Well, no, actually,
If you want to have. Go ahead.
Well, Wizard actually, because I am playing a Wizard and I just made a Wizard recently, with Braff. So Wizard is not based on your intelligence. It's literally, and I'm reading right now. The book contains the spells you know of level 1st and higher. It starts with 6 level 1 spells that you choose from, and then whenever you gain a Wizard level after 1, add 2 Wizard spells of your choice to your spell book. So yeah, it does not calculate it based off intelligence or anything. It's literally just they just give it to you incrementally.
Yeah, that is known spells. This is prepared spells. This is how many you can have prepared in a day.
What? Oh, right here.
It's just prepared spells. Yeah, the category here.
I'm pretty sure that they changed the verbiage though, right? Because hold on.
Yeah, prepared spells is just it's
Spells
the
no.
standard verbiage now. Yeah, and there's
Oh,
no
okay.
spells known literally anywhere else. It's just prepared spells now.
Weird. Okay, so they just comboed it. They didn't make. Okay.
And that actually might be across the board though too, because like you were saying, right? Because you had to do math before. I think every spellcaster, and someone checked source where we saw the same thing, right? I think every
Warlock too. Spells prepared. Spells prepared.
And it just tells you that, yeah. And I like that though, because that way, if you have to do a dump stat, or maybe your stat of your class, like Wizard, if your intelligence isn't fucking 27, and it's maybe like a 14, it's not like just chunking out what you can actually do with your class. Instead of like, oh, sorry, your intelligence isn't 20, you can only have 2 spells prepared. This is just like, hey man, have 4, have 6, have whatever level you are, just do it. You know, I do like the simplicity of that.
Just run with it.
Yeah, I do like that a lot. But yeah, real quick, Arcane Recovery seems pretty much the same, if I'm not mistaken. Arcane Recovery.
Let me check.
Once per day when you finish stories, you can choose to spend. This boss can have a combined level that is equal to or less than half your wizard, rounded up. This spell slot can have a combined level that's equal to or less than half your wizard rounded up, and then the spells can be of 6 level and higher. What does this one say? 6 level? Yep, same shit.
Exact same thing. It only specifies once you use this feature, you cannot do so again until you finish a long rest. That is new to this new book. Whereas this one, it doesn't specify in the 5th edition.
Wait, really?
You can do it in one short rest. You can't do it every short rest.
Oh, if I would have known that, I would have used it with Braff. I thought it was once per long rest.
Shit, dog. What do you mean?
I didn't realize that it was limited. Are you sure? Hold on.
Also,
It is now
Arcane Recovery being given to wizards and like not druids or any other spellcasters is kind of tough, man. Even within 5e, because they're one of the few spellcasters that actually gets at least some spells back on a short rest.
It is.
Warlock
wizards are really good at.
Warlock gets all of those.
Yeah.
Well, right, I'm saying, but like those are the only options.
Yeah, and so like being a druid, another full caster, being a bard, another full caster, or like sorcerer or anything, you don't get anything back.
I
will say, I think wizards specifically shine by having a bigger magazine.
Yeah. I was gonna say, just because I feel like druid definitely not. They have wild shape. That is a very, very good tool.
Luna momentum.
Yeah, you're good. I feel like Wild Shape is a very big pick me up. Bards, though, is interesting. But Bards also has Bardic Inspiration, where I think the reason for this is because Wizard equals spells. Bards have Bardic Inspiration. They have, they can be a melee of sort. They have versatility. Wizard, they're like, hope you got a fucking Glock with an extended mag for spells, because if not, you're done. You're useless.
You're chilling, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's why Arcane Recovery is definitely just a wizard thing. But I see what you're saying, but I think that's probably the biggest reason.
Yeah, they have.
Oh.
They also don't have as wait no they do have as many spells. I think they're pretty even to us.
I've checked the tables and compared them to 2014, and I'm not gonna lie, I stopped checking them because they seem pretty much in line with the OG or early editions. They don't seem to have changed that very much. Thankfully, I think that was nothing too
I
crazy.
think we've noticed something with Barbarian.
However, I will say
Yeah.
Ranger I'm checking because Ranger was getting shafted in a half, and I'm really excited to get to Ranger and see what exactly they've done, which will be in the playtest 6, which we'll hopefully get to. But jumping right into this, so first one, Arcane Recovery, same shit. Level 2, though, Scholar. While studying magic, you also specialized in an academic field of study. Choose one of the following skills in which you have proficiency. Arcane, history, nature, or religion. You have expertise in the chosen skill. I like that a lot. Also, did I skip something?
I mean, you skipped spell casting, which is about a page of explaining how spell casting.
No. I thought I skipped. No, I guess I didn't. Okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
you didn't skip anything, yeah.
That's really cool. I like that. It's a little bit more of a... And that's something, too. That's another reason why I chose the feat skilled for Braff. It's like, bro, this guy went to school for like 5 years. Like, I feel like he would have a little bit more of proficiency and stuff than just Arcana and athletics based off backstory, you know? I like that this kind of leans into that even more.
I will say... Good.
I was just going to say, giving expertise is really nice because only 2 classes get expertise usually. And so the fact that it's passing that around to other classes now is very nice to see.
100%.
Yeah, I do like that they moving Arcane Tradition to Wizard subclasses at level 3 instead of level 2. They didn't just leave level 2 blank. It's like, level 2, well, yeah, like here is something for that.
That's actually
and
why...
I will say, looking at the rest of this, there's not a lot after level 2 for the Wizard at all.
But they also, it's kind of the same thing with Sorcerer, though. They get a bunch of stuff based on their school. Which I will say, I did just note just a little bit of the knowledge that I have across the board. And we can talk about this a little bit later too, but all classes subclass at 3rd level now. And that's with like cleric and everything. Which we can kind of have that debate kind of towards the end of all of our arcane or all of our Unearthed Arcana delving. But that's something that is kind of universal, which, like I said, we can discuss. But the reason why I thought I skipped something was I thought, as I saw Arcane Tradition at 2nd level in the 2014, and that's why when I was
looking for it,
and I was like, what?
But I will say,
go ahead.
Passing Wizard subclasses. Then there's abilities for level 3. The next thing they get is level 5, which is the Wizard does not get anything at level 5 in D&D 5e. This is a new thing.
Yes.
Almost no spellcasters got anything at level 5 and 5.
They get the 3rd level spell, which is huge.
Yeah.
No, you're right, though.
Now they get something,
Yeah, it's almost, it was literally them being like, hey, powerful.
Like, pretty much
more
every
powerful
spellcaster went, I have Fireball.
Yeah.
That was their...
Yeah, which it's like, that's cool, but also kind of like...
You also get Counterspell.
Oh.
Counterspell, my favorite nope thing, dude. The only time that you can be like, the DM does something, you can be like, actually, no to you.
I felt like if I was in the room with Jared, he might have punched me when I counterspelled the fucking Daylight Defender.
I don't even remember what that... what was he casting? Something?
We never found out.
Nice. Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
No, I
think it was a level 1 spell anyway. But
I really like counter. Okay, I like counterspell. I like counterspell in certain things. I don't like counterspell when it's like a counterspell. No, got counterspell. Your counter, and it's like everyone's
I love
saying,
that. What are you talking
I
about?
fucking hate that. But I really like counterspell just in the sense of that. Like kind of that chessboard a little bit, where it's like, okay, you have resources, because counterspell is not like, if counterspell is 1st level, I'd be like, fuck that. 3rd level is no small thing. Like I would say, like that is a hefty fucking thing to take. Like if you get 3rd level spells and your only spell of 3rd level you're taking is counterspell, like, damn, you're putting a lot on the table. But like, it's a really good spell. But same thing, like you were saying, Connor, someone could cast a fucking Cure Wounds and you're like, counterspell, and you just burn your 3rd level on some bullshit. And it's kind of like a chess game where it's like,
situation, yeah.
You could have a creature like reveal they have counterspell, or someone very powerful being like, these guys are, the party's powerful, or like vice versa, right? Where you're like, okay, they might have counterspell. Let me see if I can maybe proc that out and try to like draw it out. I think it just adds a depth to the game, because I've heard some people like hate that shit and they'll get rid of it. I'm like,
Those are the same type of people who make it so you can't use stingers in a Battlefield 4 lobby. Like, I hate those people. They exist for a reason. Like, shut up and play the game.
Oh,
yeah. Well,
Counterspell exists for a reason. I like it.
You're gonna like I've had a time where someone was going to get disintegrated, and that is like, you cannot do anything if your player gets disintegrated. So having counterspell as an option to just be like, please, please, please do not just get disintegrate, my friend. Like, let me just like whip that really quick and see if I can stop a catastrophe from happening.
I will say nothing's more stressful than when you roll counterspell, and it's like, all right, you need a roll. It's like, oh shit.
Oh,
like,
yes.
It's like, oh
You're
no.
like,
for one,
I need
really
to
good
roll for it?
yeah. For one, really good thing I did this. For two, please.
Well, exactly. And that's another thing too. Is like, I think like the fact that you have, like, the counterspell isn't broken because if you don't meet it, then you have to roll, and you could still fucking fail, and there goes a resource, and it still happens, and now you're twice as sad. But memorize spell. Let's check this out. Studying your spell book for 1 minute. You can expend mental and magical effort to memorize a spell. Choose one spell of level 1 or higher from your spellbook that you don't have prepared. You now have that spell prepared until you use this feature to prepare a different spell. Oh, that's dope. I like that. That's pretty cool. I think that's
no matter what you're prepping, yeah, you have this.
Yes.
Yeah, you always have at least one extra spell. Like, if a situation comes up and you need something like remove curse or knock, and you don't have it prepared for the day, you're like, oh, well, give me a minute. I have the spell written down. Let me go through and, like, read back through and prepare that spell. That's really nice. It gives more versatility, especially because you're mostly a utility caster as wizard. Having a little bit more utility for something you may not have prepared for is really nice to have.
I agree, and I also, like, for instance, Braff in the Redmire Hunt, like, I would have 1000% used Intellect Fortress as this spell. Like, because, like, this can be also, like, a really cool RP thing. Like, I always have this spell prepared. I don't give a fuck. Literally, this spell is, like core to maybe, like, the character and, like, in a defense of something, or, like you were saying, like remove curse or something like that, where it's, like, they have a connection to why they always want this spell prepared. And they can obviously switch it around, but, like, maybe they have 2 or 3 of these they always constantly cycle. So I think that's really cool. It's, like, small but very broad kind of what you could do with it.
Polymorph, man, my favorite wizard spell.
Yurt. Level 18. Anybody.
Spell mastery. You achieve such mastery over certain spells that you can cast at will. Choose a level 1 and a level 2 spell in your spell book, and that have a casting time of an action. You always have those spells prepared, and you can cast them at their lowest level without expending a spell slot. If you want to cast a spell at a higher level, you must expend a spell slot as normal. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can study your spell book and exchange those spells. That's totally the same as it was in OG 5e, and man, oh man, have I been hit by a shitload of magic missiles as the DM because of that.
Because why wouldn't you just replace all your cantrips with magic missile?
Oh, shield too. That was one that was really infuriating. Yeah. That was infuriating, that shield. And I was like, all right, how many level 1 spell slots do you have left? They're like, oh no, that's my prepared spell.
Oh my god. He said, wait, what?
And honestly, I will say, if I was that player, I'd never change it. That is
never change it. That is the spell. Shield, just as, like, it becomes a reaction you can just do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Wait, you can only do that once though, right? Oh wait.
Nope.
Oh my gosh. No. It's you
just
can
have a free level 1.
Oh my wow.
At level 18 you get a free level 1
level
and level 2.
18 I will say, which is really
you are like, at that point druids can cast like regeneration and a bunch of different spells like that, and so you can literally grow people back from getting blown in half. But
you also, level 18, you have a 9th level spell slot.
Yeah, you can stop time. So being able to cast shield at will is
child's play.
You can stop time, man. Yeah.
I can cast Meteor Swarm, then cast shield because I realized I pointed wrong.
Blow up. Make your deck save. Shield ain't gonna save you now.
Yeah, well, pretty much. But I will say, signature spell looks like the same language. When you gain mastery over 2 powerful spells and can cast them with little effort. Choose 2 level 3 spells in your spell book as your signature spells. You always have them prepared. You can
is...
always catch each of them at level 3 without expending a spell slot. When you do so, you can't do so against a will finish or short or long rest. If you want to cast a spell at a higher level, you must expend a spell slot to do so. So, Fireball, Counterspell.
Dude, Fireball, Counterspell, literally always, man. You're just like...
Yeah, and honestly, if I'm going level 18, my second level spell slot would have probably been Blink. Or not Blink, sorry, Misty Step. But, yeah. That's the same as 5e as well.
So I would like to say though, this one does say you can cast each of them once.
Mm-hmm.
This says you can't. It's not infinite, but you can cast them once.
Yeah, but it is. You get 2 more 3rd level spell slots that are dedicated to something that you know you're going to use about every combat.
Right, but
especially at those levels of play.
You know, it's funny.
Spell mastery is super good.
Yeah, and I've never actually read those abilities as a wizard. I've some of these level 20 things, I don't even know what they're compared to because I've never read the 20th or higher end of the player's handbook because I'm just like, okay, who gives a shit? Because I'm not gonna play, so I'm not gonna be gonna be sad knowing I'm not gonna ever use it. So that's actually interesting. I didn't even know these were wizard. These were the wizard things.
I will say the level 20 thing isn't as good as the level 18 thing.
Yeah. Right,
so if
I would
we're
agree.
To multi-class wizard. Go to level 18, then 2 levels of whatever else it is you find to be worth a 2-level dip, but...
Right, and I was going to say, for Logan, for kind of what we were seeing a trend in, and we'll probably see it, maybe we'll see if it continues like that, but I'm mainly waiting for Druid, because Druid's 20th level ability, is polymorphing indefinitely, is insane, but I've noticed that a lot of these these higher, echelons of abilities are seeming to almost be brought to a similar power scale, which in my mind would kind of make higher level tiering of play kind of more viable. I would say obviously the spell levels is what's really kind of the most unhinged thing for higher levels when it comes to spellcasters. But I would say at least that the level 18 and 20 for wizard isn't anything so groundbreaking that's
I will say the Barbarian's level 20 is fucking crazy. Again, your strength and constitution score each increased by 4 to a maximum of 24.
They can go with 24? Yeah, I just rolled up because I was curious about the fighter.
Because I remember the fighter and the Barbarians, they were baseline. They weren't making them do one thing really good. It was making them do a standard thing really good. I don't think the wizard needed help with it. I'm not mad at the wizard's level 20 thing being the same. It's not as good as it used to be. Or it's not as good as the other, the fighters thing. It's not as good as the barbarians thing. But the wizard didn't need fucking help.
Fighter just gives you a 4th attack still. Which, a 4th attack it's still really nice.
Yeah, but a lot of the things I will say in their, in the meat of it are really good. But the level 20 thing isn't breaking the bank. The Barbarians is fucking insane. But also,
I would say
it makes sense for the Barbarian to really double down on the shit it's good at.
So I do think the Barbarian level 20 is really good. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's fucking insane. I think that obviously stat bonuses are good, but I would say in the same realm of you can cast infinite amount of 1st and 2nd level spells. Compared to you're gonna get a fat buff of con, and then obviously your strength's gonna go up. I think 4 going up 4 is really really cool, but I think it's still within that
4 and both. It
goes up by 8.
4 ability score improvements.
I think if you're a 20 level barbarian, it makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense, but you are getting 4 ability score improvements, so you could just take feats the entire time with the knowledge in the back of your head that you don't bump the entire campaign.
Yeah, but you're increasing it by 4, so it's not saying 4 up to 24. It's if you have a 16 in strength and you go up to 20, then it's cool. And if you go up an 18, you go up to 22. It's okay.
I will say,
but if you go up to 22 really with Great Weapon Master, Polearm Master, Alert, and 1 other feat, you're pretty crazy. Yeah.
All I'm saying is that I think it's in tandem. But I think you have.
I will still say disagree, and the only reason is a +2 sword is really good and you get it really late in the game. If you have a +2 sword as a barbarian, you're getting the bonuses of a +2 sword on top of a +2 sword, because you're getting a +2 to hit, you're getting a +2 to damage across the board. And then also your constitution's going up, which means your health is
plus
going
2 to
up.
all of your skills, plus 2 to all of your saving throw, or your 2 saving throws that go along with it.
Right.
Like a lot of the barbarian stuff really doubles down on what it's really good at, but I do think the +8, the +4 to the 2 things it's really good at is ridiculously good. Not saying it should be changed.
Right. But
just that. Yeah.
Well, I agree, but this is, in my mind, I'm thinking 20th level party threats, getting +2 to hit compared to a 20th party level threat is like nothing, isn't like astronomically good. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's really good, only because the things scale. You're still swinging the same shit you need to swing to hit it, and the +2 is good. It's good, and then the more it's like a consistent thing that cashes in every time.
Right.
Type thing. Where the wizard stuff is a little bit more than that. It's two level 3 spell slots you get for free, which are good. But it's not as good as the barbarian's thing. I don't think it's as good as the fighter's thing either. The fighter's is a thing that you can use every turn.
But I mean, if you have a level 1 shield that you can always use, and you basically have +5 to your AC indefinitely.
Yeah, you do, absolutely. That's really good. That's 18th level, but that's something that they could just have. They could also they could choose to do magic missile if they want to be weird about it. But really, you can do that. You can bump your AC for the whole turn.
On the same token, though, too, as a barbarian, you actually get 2 more to your AC, because if you're doing con, dex, and base. So that's actually that's really good too.
So you bump up so say you go up to 24 and you have 24, you're pretty much bare minimum hitting 20 if you have decent stats for your unarmored defense. You're better than plate armor.
Well, it depends on how you do. If your dex is also up there, and that's the thing me and Connor were talking about too, is like how barbarian can kind of almost be pulled in 3 different stats. Like you almost need strength, dex, and con, which can be a lot, because a lot of other classes, like, dude, if you're like a wizard, as long as you have 20 intelligence, fuck everything else. Whereas I feel like a barbarian, you can have a lot of strength, you can have a lot of con, but not having a lot of dex can still kind of hurt you for the role that you're playing, or vice versa, right? If you want to do a high dex and you go low con. So that's one thing that we were talking about. So that's why it's actually really cool that I don't know if you looked at the thing with the barbarian raging, and then they can change out modifiers for certain ability checks,
right?
Based on their
intimidating with your rage, like doing athletics checks with or acrobatics checks with your rage, stealthing with rage.
I think intimidation should be able to either be used in strength or charisma.
Yeah, base. I agree.
Yeah, right. Base. That just doesn't make any sense that it's charisma standard, but that's its own thing.
Yeah, but I think being so angry you're quieter is hilarious, but also like I can see how that could make sense, and I also like that it's a thing. It just is a thing. And again, it's a barbarian as a barbarian thing. It's not a barbarian this class, that class, or subclass. It's not like I'm playing a berserker. It's not like I'm playing an eagle totem, whatever the fuck. It's like I'm just mad a lot, and I'm quiet because of it. And
well, I mean, I think also too, I think barbarian, like a rage could also mean different things. I think that's a cool thing with like flavor text. You can rage, like it can be called a rage, but like it doesn't always mean that. I mean, obviously if you play berserker barbarian, that is very clear cut. Like you are mad, seething, and you'll do whatever it takes because there's abilities that complement that. But I think raging, like I think base barbarian having that ability is cool because it could mean like you can be focused. Like you can be so mad that you hone in and you're focused, and it makes you perform in a certain way. You know, it just depends on how you flavor it, but I think it opens up a lot.
Storm Barbarian could be something that's uncontrollable, that just like you can feel yourself getting to the point where that magic is boiling over. Yeah.
I think it's sick. All right, let's go ahead and pump through these Warlock invocations to see if they changed at all.
Jesus.
And then
this is, since we're popping between classes, I gotta start stepping out anyways, and this is a good stopping point for me.
All right, brother. We're gonna actually shoot through these Eldritch Invocations and probably call it, so you won't be missing too much.
Good.
Sounds good.
But thanks for hanging out, homie. Appreciate you chatting, chilling.
Take it easy. Keep it
Thank you.
squeezed.
When I leave, am I absolutely gonna eviscerate the stream?
No, I got you.
I hope so. Go.
All right, cool.
Break it.
No. I've gotten good with figuring this stuff out, man. Take it easy, brother.
All right, man. Have good luck with the evocations, and have a good night, y'all.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Agonizing blast. She's 20 year old.
Just start screaming.
No, but just through agonizing blast, just jumping right into the invocation.
Yeah.
And we talked about it last time. Agonizing Blast is not based on strictly Eldritch Blast.
Right.
You can put it on Firebolt. You can put on Warlock cantrip that deals damage. It does not specify a Warlock cantrip that deals damage to one dude. But it says a cantrip that deals damage. You can add your spellcasting ability modifier that spells damage roll. I still think, obviously, the best one is. But you don't have to.
Right. Exactly. You can actually kind of branch off from some of the stereotypical norms. So that's pretty cool.
Also, yeah, whenever you gain a Warlock level, you can change which of your damage Warlock cantrips benefit from this invocation.
Yeah.
It's good to have the option. Obviously, it's a Warlock, so it comes every level, but it's good. I like it.
I agree. Armor of Shadows, prerequisite none. You can cast Mage Armor on yourself without expending a spell slot. You can cast Mage Armor yourself at will without expending a spell slot or material components. I could specify that. I think that's also kind of crazy because that one isn't even limited. Like, you could just do that like all the time. It's not like, oh, once a day. It's just do it, and you're like, oh shit.
Yes, I will say, because I wanted to make sure I have it open, that's the exact same as 5e.
Yes, it is.
Ascendant Step, prerequisite. In the 5e, it's 9th level. Here, it's 5th level.
Okay.
You can cast Levitate on yourself at will without expending a spell slot.
Yeah, 9th level for Levitate is pretty insane. I'm glad they dropped that down, because Levitate's not that good. Like, well, I guess actually... Oh, no, it says on yourself. It doesn't say, well, if you cast on someone else. It says on yourself. So all you can do is go, I'm a fly, and you start floating, and you can do stuff like that, which is cool, but I think for 9th level, does not correspond.
I think a lot of things that the Warlock does is almost always like, I can make me do stuff. And it's like, can I be involved? It's like, go to hell, and literally go to hell, find a demon, do what I did. Here's this 5-step process.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
I like that. I like that drop.
Devil's
Devil's Sight. You can see normally in dim light. You can see normally in dim light and darkness, both magical and non-magical, within 120 feet. That's actually insane. That's not even dark vision. That is just like, you can see.
That's how it is in 5e as well, though. It doesn't specify dim light. It just says, it is not dark vision. It is, you can cast darkness on yourself, see through it. And that's how it's best used.
Hell yeah. Real quick, where is it in 5e? What the heck? It's not even in
5e, it's on page 110.
Am I missing something here?
110. Nope, it is just Eldritch Invocations, Past Chains of Harisi, Devil's Sight.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's in a different order, but yeah, I see it now. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because this is only specifying some of them, I guess.
Right.
I will say past that is Eldritch Mind, which I am actually not seeing here, but it might be in a different book. You have advantage on Constitution saving throws throws that you can make to maintain concentration on a spell. I like that. Makes sense. I'm guessing it probably has more to do with like a Great Old One type thing.
Yeah, it's not in the 5e, but it's probably something new. That's pretty good though. Eldritch Smite, level 5, Warlock, Pact of the Blade. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with your Pact weapon, you spend a Warlock spell slot to deal an extra 1d8 force damage to the target, plus another 1d8 per level of the spell slot, and you can give the target the prone condition if it's huge or smaller.
That is also not in the book, but I know that is a 5e thing.
That's cool, though.
Yeah, I like that there is something in the book that can affect something huge or smaller that they do not get to roll for. That what they get to roll for is you get a roll to hit their AC. After that, they get hit with an Eldritch Smite, and then they're on their ass.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say.
Eldritch Spear is a lot more wordy than it is in the book.
Ever seen a Valve game with Matt Fulbright on? That's your entire life now. I have not played have you ever seen a Valve game with Matt Fulbright? No. Is that just like you can see in the dark and everything? I would assume so. I think he's referencing the Eldritch Sight or the Devil's Sight.
I believe so, yeah.
That's wild.
And I like it too, just because it's, again, I like that Warlocks have all these things. But again, you get 10 of them in this edition at a super high level.
I was going to say the 10 is what's crazy.
Yeah. Some of them are, you get to cast a spell ad infinitum. A lot of them are like, you just have this now. So it's like, yeah, my eyes are really good
at
seeing. And that just is my life now. Yeah, I'm just used to it. I could like sleeping's really fucking hard because it's never dark.
Even if you close your
like,
eyes, there's no darkness, bro. You just see
you
stuff.
close your eyes, you're seeing through it. Like, no, but yeah, I like that a lot of these are just a benefit to buff a thing. Like, really, Warlocks, if we're being honest, just always have 1,000 different things to look at their spell sheet that are always relevant at a time.
Well, I think
when you get higher invocations levels.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, I think like this is what I like about Warlock is it's very unique because it's a caster, but it's like you can spec super differently with the evocations you choose, and it just like makes it so you can almost like build your character just out in a certain way, and you can hone them in. It's not like a wizard where it's like about what spells you choose. It's like, yeah, there's some spells, but it's like what invocations are you using, and how does that affect your character, not only like mentally or emotionally or whatever, but also physically too, like because changing your eyes and whatnot.
Right. I will say Eldritch Spear is very, very wordy. Because in 5e, and this is what kind of happened in Agonizing Blast, in 5e it says when you cast Eldritch Blast, its range is 300 feet. Whereas Eldritch Spear does not seem to be limited. And because of that, it now says, choose just one of your known Warlock cantrips that deals damage and that has a range of at least 10 feet. When you cast that spell, its range increases by a number of feet equal to 30 times your Warlock level. And I think that's only because, you're level 5, okay, times 30, that is 150 feet. Is it when it's being increased by?
Right. But it's still like insane too.
It also scales every level. Every level you get an extra 30 out of it. I understand why it's written that way, because it's you want to use Firebolt. Okay. Do you want to use Toll of the Dead, which is a fan favorite? And by fan favorite, I mean fucking me. Really good. But also it goes up every level. And then again, same thing as Agonizing Blast. Whenever you gain a Warlock level, you can change your spell.
Yeah. It's good.
But comboing Agonizing Blast and Eldritch Spear, always really good for Eldritch Blast. Now, and I just realized Toll the Dead is a candidate for both of these. That could be really good. I love Toll.
Well, I was gonna say this is also kind of crazy too, because your cantrips increase with Warlock, like with your levels too. So you're like baselining, increasing a cantrip that also already does more damage. Like for instance, like for Brath, dude, like I think it was one of my spells did like 3d8, but one of my cantrips, because I was 5th level, did 2d8. Like it wasn't even that much different.
Yeah.
So like you like start to get higher up in levels, man. Like your whatever cantrip you just want a fucking glass cannon with that, bro. Do it.
Yeah.
Fiendish Vigor. You can cast False Life on yourself without expending a spell slot. When you cast a spell with this feature, you don't roll a die. The temporary hit points, you automatically get the highest number on the die. Interesting.
That is really good compared to in the 5e one. It says at will at first level without expending a spell slot or material components. This does not specify first level. It's whatever level. I'm guessing it doesn't specify.
Oh, actually, that might be interesting.
So I'm gonna guess it means first level. Otherwise, I would be inclined to believe it's whatever spells slot you would have for your Warlock level and you just aren't using it.
Interesting.
But also here it does state you don't roll the die for the temporary hit points, you automatically get the highest number of the die.
Yeah, that they need to get some. Well, I was gonna say, but they need to kind of change the verbiage on that. I'm assuming it probably means first level. If not, I think it's pretty cool. I think first level for False Life, what is it like? It's like a D4 or something. So I think it'd be cool if it scaled higher than just.
Yeah, False Life isn't great.
Yeah.
I think it should scale higher, especially you are taking an entire evocation.
Yes.
It has 10 of them, but you don't change your evocations. You get it and then you have it.
Right.
So it might be good at low levels and then would lose its return.
Exactly. Let's see. Gaze of Two Minds, level 5 Warlock. You can use a bonus action to touch a willing creature and perceive through its senses until the end of your next turn. As long as the creature is on the same plane of existence as you, you can use a bonus action on subsequent turns to maintain this connection, extending the duration until the end of your next turn. The connection ends if you don't maintain it in this way. While perceiving through the other creature's senses, you benefit from any special senses possessed by the creature, and you can cast spells as if you were in your space or the other creature's space. The two of you are within 60 feet of each other. Whoa, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm. So it is much better than the one in the book. Specifically, the one in the book, you have to use an action to maintain it.
Oh, hell no, bro.
Gaze of Two Minds is a bonus action. Additionally, you cannot cast spells through the other creature. It just says you can perceive them. It does not have anything about, well, it has nothing about being within 60 feet of each other because that was about spells, which it has nothing about in the actual book. So that's really good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. It does add the restriction of level 5 and beyond, though. So
yeah,
but I like that because like, and that's the thing I've noticed. Like they are opening up the action economy a lot with this new content. Like they're trying to shift some things around to bonus action and stuff because I think they realize that like, dude, I mean, like I guess it could be entirely a role play thing, for the previous edition for the 2014. So like that's cool, I guess, but like this is cool that you can do it in multiple instances.
No, absolutely. Bonus actions are normally a thing that I think I see in games that are like, can I do anything? Not really. Oh, okay. And then not used. Mm-hmm. It's called bonus action, but I think now, as people have been playing more and more and more, it's like, oh, it's an option in the action economy. It's not a bonus action. It's not like a free thing you get to do. It's like, oh, it's a part of what you're doing in an encounter. Yeah. And finding more ways and more things on characters to actually use it, especially classes that don't get to use it that often. I like that a lot. I do too. Yeah, for sure. Exactly. Yeah, because I would say, for me, I always looked at it as if, like, there's 3 tiers, right? Action, bonus action, and then reaction. But I also could see where people would be like, oh, it's just a bonus freebie something. And I think that is, you honestly nailed it in the head. Maybe that was the verbiage that they actually meant in the past, where it's like, no, action is basically all your turn, a bonus action is a quick or thing. But now, like you were saying, it's more of a tied-in thing. Yeah. So, that's cool. I'm glad to see it grow. I am too. Gift of the Depths. It's not in this book. It's probably in another book. Gift of the Depths. You can breathe underwater, and you gain a swim speed equal to your speed. You can also cast water breathing once without expending a spell slot. You regain the ability to do so. Once is good. Yeah, you regain the ability to do so when you finish a long rest. That's actually pretty sick. Is it not in here? It's not in the player's handbook. It might be in another book, which I think is a good thing for us to keep in mind as we keep reading through these. I'm glad Logan came through and pointed out. Yeah. So that's just a better thing to keep in mind. That's really cool, though. That's another. I'm not saying gift to protectors either. Yeah, but that's another thing I'm really looking forward to this book is having all books consolidated. If in some way, like all of these, like because obviously Tasha's they expanded on some. Like for instance, like even today for Ranger that you're looking at, right? They have in Tasha's or Xanthar's or whatever the additional fighting styles. It'll be nice. Yeah. It'll be nice when they shove everything and they'll just like put it in the class instead of me being like, oh wait, hold on, let me check my 6 resource books to see what all my options are. Now with a new book, hopefully it'll be this thick. And it'll just have everything in it. Yeah, I want a biblical novel of fighting styles per class. Yes. I'm gonna tailor it and then know I chose wrong when I go online and talk about it on Reddit. go ahead and read Gift of the Protectors. Fine. Again, I have no idea what this is. If this could be from anything or new, but a new page appears in your Book of Shadows. This is specific to Pack of the Tome, also level 9+. But Pack of the Tome, when you conjure it, with your permission, a creature can use its action to write its name on that page. Which can contain a number of names equal to your proficiency bonus. When any creature whose name is on the page is reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, the creature magically drops to 1 hit point instead. Once this magic is triggered, no creature can benefit from this until you finish a long rest. As a magic action, you can erase the name on the page by touching it, which could be some petty ass shit when you notice like the paladin's getting it wiped and you just like kind of nah, and you just deleted. Yeah. I like this kind of contractual automatic function of Spare the Dying. I also love it's not this. Spare the Dying. It's not. It's better. Yeah. Spare the Dying is just you stabilize. This is like you heal. Yeah. I love this RP though. Like, hey man, I promise you, super sketchy looking individual. Promise you, write your name in this book, brother, and it'll help you. And you're just like, they're not doing shit for you. What the hell? Yeah. Like hell no. I think it's pretty good. You're getting it at 9th level, so everybody's pretty good at this point. People have better ways of healing, better ways of maintaining damage. This is, I think it's good. It is kind of wish it wasn't restricted to like maybe you got 2 uses or something, but that's bordering on broken.
I was just gonna say because you can have a number of names of your proficiency bonus. So as long as people
once this magic is triggered, no creature can benefit until you finish a long rest. Maybe short rest or something. Once it happens once, yeah, the gift of protection.
Oh, I see. So you can have like a blanket, but it then helps only one person at that moment. Okay, so yeah, I could see that. But that's also still really good because like if you get smoked and you take 5 attacks and you soak so much damage and then you get up on your turn and able to get out, like it's really good.
Okay, here's the play.
Oh god.
Somebody uses magic to give your steed intelligence and lets it write its name in your book because it says creature not humanoid. Yeah. So to keep your horse alive when combat, it gets hit by a ballista, but it's not all the way dead yet. Gets 1 hit point. You keep running, baby. That's how we're gonna do this heist. Give the horses intelligence and hands for at least a minute for them to write their names.
Yeah.
The only point of me saying that is it doesn't say humanoid. It says creature.
I do like that though. I do like that they're very broad. They're not limiting.
Creature maybe doesn't specify construct, which is kind of funny if one of your friends is playing a Warforged. But
yeah, get fucking wrecked. Can't heal and you can't go in my book.
Yeah, maybe creature is very specific. I'm curious. Broad things like this, creature. What does that mean mechanically? This book can mean a lot of things.
Yeah, honestly, also, not gonna lie, there are 1,000 invocations. I thought maybe if this was the last page, we could burn through them, but there's like 500.
There's a lot, dude.
And so I think
we do not need to keep going. Dude.
I was gonna say I do need to actually go. I do have some stuff to get to. Yeah, I know, right? I know. But I mean, shit. I mean, okay. How about this? We get through them all. We just read them though. Say, hey, like couple notes, and then we'll just keep chugging.
Okay, I'll go first, and then we switch it back and forth. Investment of the Chain Master, level 5 Pack of the Chain, and I do like these subclass specific ones a lot.
Yeah.
And when you cast 5 familiar, you infuse a summon familiar with a measure of your Eldritch power, granting the creature the following benefits: aerial or aquatic. The familiar gains either a fly or a swim speed of your choice to 40 feet. I want to point out this says granted the creature the following benefits, not some of. So you're picking aquatic or aerial, but you're picking one, then also getting the others. As a bonus action, you command the familiar to make the attack action, necrotic or radiant. Whenever the familiar deals bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage, it can make it deal necrotic or radiant damage instead. Really goddamn good. All around, your save DC, if the familiar forces a creature to make a saving throw, it uses your spell save DC. The familiar takes damage as resistance. When the familiar takes damage, you can use a reaction to grant it resistance against that damage.
Yeah.
That is another great use of the reaction ability.
Yes. I will say this. They, 1000%, unless they're unhinged, they probably meant to put 1. or maybe like 2 or 3 of these.
I like it.
When you cast Find Familiar, they get a billion things. There's no way.
There is 5 things. Familiars are really bad at combat. Really, they're not meant for combat. This is a way to make investment of the Chain Master. It's like your whole subclass is about this familiar, and here's a way to make your familiar actually survive in combat without you having to cast Shocking Grasp through an eagle as it swoops a man.
All right, we'll see where it comes. Where it goes to. Yeah. I just think that like if a 9th level Warlock invocation is one person doesn't drop to 0 and just drops to 1, I feel like a 5th level isn't going to be, hey, here's your Find Familiar, and they just get absolutely fucking buffed to shit. But, you never know. Lessons of the first ones. Level 2 Warlock. You've received knowledge from an elder entity of the multiverse, allowing you to gain 1 feat of your choice, such as skilled that lacks
prerequisites.
Repeatable. You can get this invocation more than once. Each time you do so, you must select a different health-triple feat. What the fuck?
Here's the play, gentlemen.
No
10
way.
feats for 10 evocations.
That's actually stupid as fuck.
I like it only because
you like the min-max?
You can't min-max. There's not things that are gonna stack and make you really good. It's just you can do so many broad things. But like, I think it's a very good way of opening up evocations to say, hey, your evocation could be a feat that isn't super specific. Like
Right.
you might give yourself like an armor proficiency by doing that, by taking a feat at an inappropriate level, and
But
then take other feats.
this is
I
the
like it.
this is the thing though, is most of the feats will give you an ability score improvement too. So that means that you literally
Those are-
can
yeah,
just
half feats,
stack
yeah.
your shit.
You could, but I would also say warlocks are one of the most customizable classes in the game. You can absolutely change up. My fiend Pack of the Blade warlock will look completely different than somebody else's fiend Pack of the Blade warlock. We can be playing the same race and it'll look different. And I like it.
On to the next. Life Drinker.
I'm just saying, lessons of the first one is a way to take a feat and make it an invocation instead, and I like it. Life Drinker, level 9, Pack of the Blades.
Maybe they're changing the ability score improvements in this version. I think that, I mean, that is a good point, though. They might be changing feats, too, or maybe they're changing that up. I just think improvements in the feats, I mean. Yeah, exactly. I think that a lot of the feats, like, that's something I was noticing, is that, like, feats, like, there's no point in ability score improvement because 90% of the feats literally give you at least 1 point. So, like...
Yeah, there's a lot of half feats, is what they're normally considered. It's like a feat that gives you a thing, but also... Here's a +1.
There's also a lot of shit that just gives you like a shit ton of things, and it gives you a +1. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Onward!
Yeah. I want to say this is on the same par as Gift of the Protectors. Pack of the Tomb was Gift of the Protectors. It's Pack of the Blade, Life Drinker, same level 9. Whenever you hit a creature with your pack weapon, the creature takes 1d6 necrotic damage, psychic or radiant damage, your choice. Whatever you're feeling when you're swinging. And you can expend one of your hit die to roll it and regain a number of hit points equal to the roll plus your Constitution modifier, minimum of 1.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good. That's just a way to keep you in the fight when you have fucking 13 AC.
I also like that they kind of expanded it to necrotic, psychic, or radiant, depending on what your pact is. Not every warlock has to be something of the darker variety.
I like that. I think even if you are a fiend, if you're a fiend, you can swing and hit up with radiant. You know, like it's saying your choice.
Right.
It's your choice then. Like, if I'm swinging and I hit him with Psychic and he didn't do enough damage, I'm hitting him with Radiant and Seeing, you know?
Yeah, I guess. The way I take that is, like, flavor, like, yeah, whatever. Okay. Onward!
Okay.
Well, I just think, in my mind, it's like you choose one and then you'd stick to it in some capacity. But, I mean, it just depends on how you'd want to rule it. Only because, like, necrotic and radiant are very separate on the spectrums, and so the fact that you just keep shifting through them would be kind of weird. But I guess it just depends on, as written, how you want to rule it. Mask of Many Faces. I love this one. This is like my favorite invocation. You can cast Disguise Self without expending a spell slot. Mask of Many Faces, right. just a staple.
I like it. I don't think it's used enough. It could be broken. It's just not used enough.
I don't even. I don't know. I think it's just a good base.
No, I agree. It is really good, and like I love. Because for me, Warlock, like there's Celestial Warlock, there's Fiend, but my Warlock's always old one, great old one, which is probably why when it comes to Life Drink, I'm like, yeah, of course you'd use Necrotic, Psychic, or Radiant, because like it's from horrors unknown, and who knows what the fuck it's tapping into. The Sky itself makes sense to me too, because it's like, yeah, like even if the thing's aware of you, like change their face, I don't give a shit. Like do whatever you're doing, guy.
Yeah.
So yeah. Master of Myriad Forms. You can cast Alter Self without expending a spell slot.
Which is just the cracked out version of Disguise Self.
Yeah, never mind. Mask of Many Faces is busted. Mask of Myriad Forms is my new friend. That's really good.
I like that a lot.
Oh, hey, let's go to the next one. Go ahead.
Misty Visions. You can cast Silent Image without expending a spell slot. Nice. I like that, actually.
Huge thing I want to point out. Master of Myriad Forms is in the book. It was level 15 requirement. Now it's level 5.
Okay. I think that is a very good drawback. I don't think 5 would be necessarily appropriate.
Well, I wouldn't take Mask of Many Faces. I'd wait for Altered Self.
Right, and I just think that like Altered Self is obviously a much better version of Disguise Self. It makes it so that you're a lot more indiscernible. So I think that only at level 5, it's kind of insane. Misty Visions. That's no prerequisite, and that's pretty simple. So I don't see why. I think it's pretty good.
One with shadows. While you're in an area of dim light or darkness, you can cast invisibility on yourself without expending a spell slot. The only difference in the book levels and everything is instead of saying you become invisible, it specifies you can cast invisibility without expending a spell slot. And I like that because there's mechanics behind it.
Yes.
And it's also saying you're casting, so again, someone might try to counterspell.
Or it requires component like verbal and somatic and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that they're almost like they had mechanics in the older versions and they just melded them together. They finally kind of corrected verbiage that just like broke some of the confines that they had. Otherworldly.
Here is the. Go ahead.
Otherworldly Leap level 2. You can cast Jump on yourself without expending a spell slot. I think that's awesome because Jump is not really utilized too heavily when it comes to things. So just having a little fun little springboard for yourself is pretty cool.
It used to be level 9. Now it's level 2.
It used to be that. Wow. I think 9 is a lot for Jump. So I think it's good that it's brought down.
Now we're getting into what's really subclasses.
Oh, these are packs. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, okay, we can go past all the packs and hit the last couple of.
Yeah, I really actually have to go.
Do you want to? We can stop it here and pick it up here, or we can go with everything else.
I really don't want to come back to this again. I want to.
Really quick. Repelling Blast is specific to Eldritch Blast. This is one of the 3 main ones that didn't change. Repelling Blast still Eldritch Blast. It is still when you hit a creature large or smaller with Eldritch Blast, you can push the creature up to 10 feet straight away from you.
Nice.
That is the same thing except it specifies large or smaller. Otherwise, before it just said it, you're hitting a Tarrasque, push that bitch 10 feet.
Yeah. Thirsting Blade, level 5,
Mm-hmm.
Warlock Pact of the Blade. You gain the extra attack feature for your packed weapon only. With that feature, you can attack twice with the weapon instead of once when you take the attack action on your turn. That's pretty cool. I like that.
A little bit more wordy, but the same exact thing as
when you reach
the
level 11, you get
Never mind.
You get 2. Yeah, you can go up to 3 attacks.
That's new. That's new. And they knew we'd read it. Go like, oh, okay. Scroll up. What the fuck?
Yeah, I like that. I really like that they kind of Pact of the Blade. You know, I feel like you're gonna have you're making a pact with your weapon. So I think it's cool that you can actually kind of almost like uptick yourself to a fighter in some ways.
Absolutely. And just keeping yourself in the fight and just action economy. Really, you get to swing 3 times instead of twice. That's huge.
Yeah.
Visions of Distant Realms. You can cast Arcana without expending a spell slot. That went from, and here that was a level. I just saw it and I lost it. 15 dropped down to level 9. And I think that's pretty much consistent across the board of the things we're seeing.
Yeah.
It's just dropping the requirement down.
Whispers of the Grave, level 7. Warlock can cast Speak with Dead without expending a spell slot.
That was level 9.
You see, that's what's funny to me though. Like Speak with Dead is can be very good for like role playing and story progression and stuff like that. And if you want to say broken, sure. But it's kind of weird to me that Alter Self is at 5th level and Speak with Dead is 7th. Like that, like you can physically change your entire appearance and be like indiscernible for the most part. But to Speak to Dead, hold on, level 7.
I will say this: certain games, especially older edition games, were very much Dungeons and Dragons in the literal term of you're in town for 2 sessions, you're out of town for 20, you're in the dungeon. You can alter yourself if you want, you weird little bastard, but they're still gonna punch you in the head. So I think like in the very martial game, Whispers of the Grave is better. But I feel like in the game that people normally play, which is a lot more RP focused, Alter Self is, fuck you. I'm a gnome now, and I'm gonna walk in and I'm gonna mess around with stuff. You can do a lot more, whereas Whispers of the Grave would probably be used a lot less.
Yeah, so that's why I feel like Alter Self should be higher level requirement.
I do want to point out Witch's Sight. You have True Sight within a range of 30 feet. It was very wordy and very specific in
was it really?
the 5e book. Yeah, because it was, you can see the true form of any shapeshifter or creature concealed by illusion or transmutation magic, while the creature's within 30 feet of you within line of sight. Fuck it. You have True Sight now.
Yeah, you can see
congrats.
It all. Yeah.
I also want to say True Sight is better than being able to see through magical darkness. Because True Sight is range of 30 feet, a lot closer. It also comes online at level 15. Super late, but really good. That is better than Blind Sight, honestly. I think True Sight, you can borderline see into the astral dimension.
I think you literally can just see things as they are. You literally, if someone's disguising themselves or something's hidden, you just go like, come on out, buddy.
Yeah. Like you walk into a room and you see somebody, you're like, what a well-established gentleman. Then you take a couple steps close and they immediately turn into a lich. You're like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. Hey guys, let's talk. I don't feel like you guys can see what I'm seeing.
I'm seeing a lot of demons around here.
I also like that there's no cast. It just happens. You just have it.
True. Nathan said, I think the pack weapon didn't give you the ability to use charisma for your weapon attacks in 5e, so that's a huge bonus to the pact, and you can usually use it outside Hexblade now.
Yes.
Nice.
I want to say, scrolling all the way up to
Pact of the Blade, right? Pact of the Blade. All right, let's just read these real quick. Pact of the Blade. It's a bonus action. You can trace arcane sigils in the air to conjure a pact weapon in your hand, a similar or martial melee weapon of your choice, which you bond to, or create a bond with a magical weapon you can touch. Until the bond ends, you have proficiency of the weapon. You can use its mastery property, and you can use it as a spellcasting focus. Whenever you attack with the bonded weapon, you can use your charisma modifier for the attack and damage rolls instead of using strength.
Nice.
Instead of using strength or dexterity, and you can cause the weapon to deal necrotic, psychic, or radiant damage, or its normal damage type.
That.
Your bond with the weapon ends if you use this feature's bonus action again if the weapon is more than 5 feet away from you for 1 minute, or a minute or more, or if you die. A conjure weapon disappears with both ends. That's so cool.
I like it. I'll just, as we're running through Pack of the Chain, you learn the Find Familiar spell. You can cast it as an action without spending a spell slot. When you cast a spell, you choose one of the normal forms of Familiar, or one of the following special forms: Imp, Pseudo-Dragon, Quasit, Skeleton School, Salad Tadpole, or a Salad Tadpole? Sayade. But I know those, I know Corey played one in one of our games.
Oh, okay.
Not the Tadpole. Or a Sprite. Additionally, when you take the attack action, you can forego one of your own attacks to allow your Familiar to make one attack of its own, which goes back to, I guess, one of the other things we talked about as an invocation. And taking that one, they can do it as a bonus action.
Yeah, Nathan said he played Grung or whatever, and then, so the Grung's a frog. I think the Slad is like a salamander, if I'm not mistaken. It's like an elemental salamander.
I forgot my lizard boys, whatever they're called. I know I'm technically wrong.
Yeah.
Pack of the Tome.
And then you do that with the thing where you get 500 abilities with your Find Familiar, so it's like crazy as fuck.
You get to buff small things in 5 specific areas.
A Pseudo-Dragon, if I'm not mistaken, is actually pretty okay. So like that.
Pseudo-Dragons are really cool. I like the flavor and like the description of Pseudo-Dragons. I'll go ahead and read Pack of the Tome, stitching together Gentle Shadow. You conjure with the book in your hands at the ends of a short rest or long rest, so you can do it in the middle of a day if you want. It's Book of Shadows. You determine its appearance. It's Necronomicon, obviously. Contains Eldritch magic that only you can access, or maybe it's like fan fiction. Fan fiction's like supernatural.
Yeah,
that's
manga.
It's stapled together, but like it's just as good.
It's just anime book.
Granting you the following benefits: cantrips and rituals. When the book appears, choose 3 cantrips. Choose 2 level 1 spells that have the ritual tag. The spells can be a form of any class of spell list with ritual tag. They must be spells that you don't already have prepared while the book is on your person. You have chosen spells prepared. They function as Warlock spells for you. You gain 1 level spell slot. Once you expend it, you can't gain another slot from this feature until you finish a long rest. You can use the book as a spellcasting focus. The book disappears if you conjure a book with this feature or you die.
Cool. So like kind of some Warlock Wizard mode.
Yes.
A little bit.
This is my personal favorite flavor-wise for the Warlock. I feel like when I'm playing a Warlock, but I kind of wanted to play a Wizard, like the book being a cursed object is a lot of fun. Mechanically, obviously, Pack of the Blades. Fucking good.
Hell yeah, dude.
But Jared, I know you do have to go. But I will say, damn it, we finished the evocations.
We did, dude. Holy shit, it's like a nightmare, bro. It just never stopped. I think maybe I'm just looking through the rest of it, and it seems like they're just kind of outlining a lot of the stuff that they reference in the book. Mm-hmm. And I think on our own time we can go, because at the very end there's like a bunch of just things highlighted, like when it comes to like expertise, unarmed strikes, whatever. I was making sure it wasn't anything too crazy. But we did it.
Gotcha.
Playtest. Well, actually, ironically enough, we didn't do it because we didn't go through every subclass, which is fucking crazy.
Right.
But I think what we'll do is we'll keep chopping along. We'll keep going through. We'll go back to playtest 6. We'll go through all the classes, main body, and then maybe on our own time we can be like, hey, by the way, this subclass is really cool. And then we can like maybe choose 3 or 4 that we all kind of found, and then talk about it on another episode and highlight it, so that way we can at least give it a little bit of exposure. But honestly, I mean, that was only 4 of the classes. Or no, it was 5. Sorry, that was 5. Barbarian, Fighter, Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard. And then we'll be going through the other half of these.
Rogue, Ranger, yeah.
Ro-
We'll be having fun.
I will say the one that for this Barbarian was one that I was not expecting as many awesome changes that they had. Fighter, a little disappointed. Sorcerer,
I'm thrilled.
Sorcerer, they what? Are you thrilled I'm disappointed, or are you thrilled with Fighter?
I'm thrilled with Fighter. Both, but mostly thrilled with Fighter.
Well, I would say disappointed in the sense of like what I wanted them to add, they didn't add, but in general, good changes. Maneuvers, still upset, whatever. Sorcerer, they added some cool stuff. They added cool stuff to all of them. I do think that the biggest one was Barbarian. I think that was the coolest, like diverse.
That one's by far. I have never had a great time playing Barbarian. I think I would have a lovely time playing this Barbarian. Again, not including subclasses.
Yes. Yes, 100%.
But I think we both have to go at this point.
Yes. Okay. Anyway,
yeah,
hey,
we waited long enough.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, hey, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out once again, getting through some of this playtest material, checking it out with us. Nathan, shout out to you. You're hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate you, man. And then obviously Sunday. Hey, Sunday, real quick, emphasize giveaway. That's the one big thing. We're gonna do a giveaway on Sunday. So
one of the players, we're giving them away.
Yep. Okay. We're giving away some merch or something along those lines. We'll figure it out, and then it is going to be the epilogue / wrap up of our arc, and so it'll be a good time overall. See where the players are going. See what happens. See how it all wraps up,
and also talking about how they got there.
Exactly, and then we'll kind of deep dive into the behind the curtain kind of stuff. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Anyway, Sunday, check the Twitch schedule, and we will see you later.
All right. Take it.